Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, thanks for watching. Today I'm going to be talking about Rom, 40 Years of Rad, a documentary about a skate park in Romford, Essex. And it's directed by Matt Harris, and let's have a look at the trailer.
This place is a predator, and you're the prey, man. And some days, it'll let you get away with it. Other days, it will chew you up and spit you out. You've got to be scared of it. If you come here and you're not scared of it, you're an idiot, because you're going to get hurt.
Twisted ankles, dislocated knees, I've knocked myself out, knocked my teeth out.
There are certain type of people they are.
I was registered disabled for a while. They told me probably never going to walk without a stick.
You do forget how to ride a bike. Let me tell you.
There's less judgmental people at a skate park than there is in a church.
It's absolutely extraordinary when you think about it.
I couldn't drive past here and not come in. I don't think my car would let me. I'd have to go the long way around.
It's an incredibly valuable piece of architecture.
It was going bankrupt, it was going to shut.
It's on its arse at the moment as a business, but they still keep it going.
No one here on Saturday. No one. Not one.
It's giving back, it's being part of an inspiring journey to try and get this place full of life again.
We don't get some help, the place could go in complete disrepair, to be quite honest.
It's history. Don't just stop that, man.
And something that these guys that rode 40 years ago is keeping them riding means it's right.
I hear rumours that it's in trouble at the moment, and this is one of the most iconic skate parks there is on the planet.
So Rom Skate Park was established in 1978 and is actually in Hornchurch in Essex. It is one of the best skate parks in the UK. It is also one of the most famous ones in terms of skateboarders from around the world. It was a concrete design, obviously, because it's a concrete skate park, but it was designed off the back of the idea of the skating scene in the 70s, which kind of exploded in America. And when the British people over here decided to create a skate park, they thought, let's follow the American model and let's build this brilliant skate park which emulates the stuff that's come from America. Now, unfortunately, in the 70s into the 80s, skateboarding kind of died off, and then BMX kind of took off as such. So BMXing and that kind of particular style or genre of sport kind of carried on, and that also took over the skate parks for a certain amount of time. So basically Rom Skate Park was essentially a BMX and skateboarders heaven from about the 70s and the 80s onwards. This particular documentary focuses on that story and really focuses on the history of the skate park and where skateboarding came from. For me, it's a really good documentary because, one, I absolutely love skating. I'm wearing a skating t-shirt with names of skaters who were from the Dogtown era. So for me, this documentary is a little bit emulating in terms of Dogtown and Z-Boys by Stacy Peralta. Stacy Peralta is a skateboarder in the US who was famous for Dogtown and Z-Boys, and you can also see his story told in Lords of Dogtown by, I can't remember the director, it's Catherine something. Anyway, if you love skateboarding, and if you love BMXing, and if you love the 70s and 80s scene of skateboarding and where skateboarding has actually come from in the UK, this is the one to watch. It's a really good documentary because it actually talks about skateboarding in terms of really understanding it from a British perspective. You know, Britain itself was probably not a major sort of capital in terms of skateboarding around the world. Maybe it was. Having a more British perspective is actually more enlightening because you want to hear those stories, and I've not really heard about British skateboarders that much. You know, I watch videos on Instagram these days, I kind of digest my skateboarding hits from there. I kind of like occasionally buy fascia, I don't know why, I shouldn't really be buying it. But what's nice about this documentary is that it kind of dispels the myth that skateboarding is a sport which is just for young people or is a historic sport that kind of came out of the 70s. People can have quite a negative view of skateboarding itself, and in this sense this particular documentary actually celebrates skateboarding and actually celebrates the community that skateboarding creates, and also it celebrates the art form that skateboarding creates, which is why this documentary is very important. There was a little bit of a lag for me during the documentary, especially when it went to BMXs. I kind of slightly switched off with the BMX point, but it's important to tell that story of BMXs and skateboarders and BMXs together, because as we all know, sharing a skate park, you're sharing a park where we can basically do loads of stunts. It's about the creativity and about the community that it creates. It's not about the style of sport that we tend to choose to do. Saying that, I don't like scooters, but that's just me. That's just me being horrible. I do like scooters, I'm kidding. I've actually made a scooter film one time back in the past. More importantly, this documentary is vital viewing. I really think if you're into extreme sports, if you're into kind of skateboarding, if you're into BMXs, if you're into just watching, you know, an urban subculture kind of come to life and seeing the historical aspects of it come together, that's where it's fully realised. It's shot in glorious 4K and it looks really, really good. Matt Harris, the director, is possibly a skateboarder himself. I think he features in it as well, but he interviews everyone from across the board you could possibly want from the skateboarding and the BMX scene in the UK from the 70s and 80s. He gets the guy who runs Gumball 3000, he gets people who grew up in Romford, he gets locals, he gets people who questionably should be interviewees. There's one bit about a guy talking to a hedgehog, which is very minuscule, but he's very funny and it's great. And really, it's about the art and the creativity that surrounds skateboarding itself, which is why I love this documentary. This documentary will be screened at the Romford Film Festival on Thursday the 24th of June. It is Friday the 25th of June when I'm making this video, so I know that it's going to be screened at another festival, possibly in Brighton on the 5th of July. So this is a documentary worth checking out, and it's definitely worth trying to kind of see. I don't know what else to say about this documentary. It's so good. There's nothing short of them saying on the poster that it's kind of their religion. Skateboarding is a religion and it is an art form, and you know, it's a sport that will also be in the 2021 Olympics, or even probably the it is this year, the Olympics and stuff. So skateboarding for the first time is going to be in the Olympics, which is amazing. But the thing about the culture and where the history of skateboarding comes from, this is why this documentary is really, really important. I highly recommend seeing it, and I really want to give it a really high score. I'm going to give it a high score. I would say the score for the film is basically 5 out of 5 because I love skateboarding. If you're not a skateboarding fan or extreme sports fan or a BMX fan, you may not like the film. It does drag a little bit about 3/4 of the way through, but the film itself as a whole is about community, art, life, living, love and sport. What more could you want? Thanks for watching my review on Rom Boys 40 Years of Rad. It would be really good for you to stay in touch. Let me know what you think about Rom Boys if you do actually go see the documentary. It is released at the Romford Film Festival on 24th of June, which was yesterday, and will be probably shown, I think I've read somewhere, in Brighton on the 5th of July at a film festival there. So do check it out, Google it, find out what you can about it. It will be released. It's worth checking out. Matt Harris is the director. Google him as well. And I can't praise this skateboard film enough because I think it's a great documentary. So go and see it as soon as possible. I'm going to put more skateboarding content over here. Maybe a video of other skateboarding content I've done, you can check it out there. And I'm also going to say subscribe here. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd really like it if you did. I'd like to hear from you. Any comments about the films or the page or my YouTube channel, I'd love to hear from you. And if you'd like to just watch more content, just let me know. Tell me what you'd like to watch. I've got more videos coming, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Ciao, ciao.